That's kind of the point.
I hear you. I'm not arguing with you.
15 months is enough time to figure something out. I'm 31 years old. New mum, back at work 2 months ago, living at my in-laws' house with a baby who still doesn't sleep past 5 in the morning, and somehow managing 2 car payments on a budget that only recently became 2 incomes again. We bought the sedan in 2022, used, still had a balance on it, nothing dramatic. It was just a car. Cracked cup holder on the passenger side that I kept meaning to fix and never did. When I first handed her the keys, my mum mentioned that she'd already looked up the registration process, that she knew she couldn't switch it into her name without paying off the balance first. I remember thinking at the time that it was a little specific, that most people would have just taken the keys and figured that part out later. She wasn't asking for anything outright, which is how she usually doesn't ask for things. She just mentions the situation, and then the situation sits there, and then someone does something about it. I did something about it.
I was going to call you about that, actually.
Okay.
It's just been a tight few weeks, you know how it gets.
Yeah.
I'll have the rest to you by next week. I just need a few days to move some things around.
The terms were not complicated. She would pay the monthly note, which at that point was around $340. I would keep the insurance in my name because switching it would have been a headache. We did not write anything down. The first 2 months she paid on time. The third month came in about $150 short, and she called before I could say anything to tell me she'd get me the rest by the following week. She did, about 10 days later. The 5th month was nearly half, and when I called her, she explained there had been some unexpected expenses, and she'd catch up, and she did catch up partially over the next 3 weeks. I need to talk to you about the car.
Is something wrong with it?
No, nothing's wrong with it.
Okay, what is it then?
We're going to need it back in April.
April.
By then, I had just gone back to work, and the baby was in daycare, and the budget was the budget. I was doing the math in my head at the pediatrician's office, while the baby sat on that crinkly paper on the exam table, just running numbers quietly, while a doctor talked to me about sleep schedules. Our tax refund is not a windfall. It is the only part of the year where the numbers have a little room in them, where we can think about a deposit or a first month or what it would cost to actually move somewhere. In January, I called my mum and said the car needed to come back by April. April is the date.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
That's kind of the point.
I hear you. I'm not arguing with you.
15 months is enough time to figure something out. April was 15 months away from the day I handed her those keys. I told her I was giving her more than enough time to sort something out, that I wasn't trying to catch her off guard, that I just needed a firm date because we had things we were trying to do. She said okay. She didn't push back, didn't ask for more time. She said okay, and we talked for a few more minutes about the baby, and she asked if I'd sent the photos from the holidays yet, which I hadn't, and then we hung up.
So I actually found something. It's not bad, decent mileage.
That's good.
I just need a little help pulling it together. Like 2,000, I'd pay you back.
Mom,
It's not a lot. I just need to close the gap a little.
I don't have 2,000 to lend you right now.
Even just part of it, whatever you could manage.
Then, in March, so about 6 weeks before the date I'd given her, she called and asked if I could lend her $2,000 to put toward a car of her own. I was in the break room at work. There was leftover birthday cake on the counter for someone's birthday I'd already forgotten. She was explaining that she'd found a decent option, but needed help pulling it together. And I was trying to remember if she had said anything in January that I'd missed, any signal that she was not going to be ready, and I couldn't find one. I told her I didn't have $2,000 to lend her. About 2 weeks after that, my sister texted in the family group chat. Not a call, a text. Something about how she wanted to see if there was any flexibility on the timeline, that a few more months might help, that it would be good to handle this as a family. I read it while I was feeding the baby at 6 in the morning. My husband read it over my shoulder and didn't say anything. I called my sister later that day, not in the chat, just called her. She said a few more months, maybe through summer, no specific date. I asked her what the plan was after that, and she didn't really have an answer to that part. I said no. I said the date was April, and I wasn't moving it. The car is still in my sister's driveway. April is in a few weeks, and I have not heard anything from my mother about a plan. The group chat has been quiet for 2 weeks, which is longer than usual. I'm still making both payments. My mother-in-law asked me the other day if everything was okay, and I said, yes, just tired, the baby, you know how it is. I've been going to bed later than I should, not doing anything, just sitting with my phone, reading other people's posts, which is how I ended up here in the first place.